Hey, kings and queens, how are you doing tonight? It's Al with Al of Locks. How is everyone out there? Well, tonight we are going to talk about coloring our locks. We want to find out what happens to the hair cuticle, the hair cortex, and the hair medulla when we color our locks. Um, this lesson is real important because a lot of us have locks and we decide to color it, and we don't think about what the outcome is going to be until it's too late, until we have our locks falling out, stripping, split ends, all that other stuff. So we want to know, why exactly does that happen? In part one, we learned about the different layers of the hair. Tonight we're going to learn about what happens to the hair when we attempt to color our locks. Stay tuned. Okay, locks lovers. So here we are at our loctician, and we're talking to our loctician about dyeing our hair. We already chose the color we want. We spoke to them about what our expected outcome is, what we're expecting our outcome to be. Okay, so now she started to apply the hair dye, but wait a minute. So the ammonia in hair dye, it breaks through your cuticle, right? Think about that for a minute. Okay, so it has to break into the cuticle, right? Because the cuticle is our natural hair protection, because we're talking about the layers of hair right now, right? So you have the medulla, the cortex, and your cuticle. And the cuticle is the outer layer, which is the protection. So you have to actually break into that to get into it, right? Because what the ammonia in the hair dye is doing, it has to lift the cuticle up so that the little molecules could from the hair dye can get in. Because if the molecules can't get in, then we're not going to be able to get the color that we want. Right? All right. So the chemical in the dye, it also elevates the pH of our hair. All right? That way the cuticle can just relax and take a deep breath so it can lift up. Okay, so now the peroxide, which is the hair bleach, strips away your current color because, hey, our cuticle is now open for business, right? So once the cuticle is broken in, right, we can now dye the hair the color we want. Okay, so once the peroxide removed the natural color, we now make room for the new pigment, right? Because pigmentation is a color, right? So if you don't have any pigmentation, that means what? There's no color there. So now we can now prepare to apply the color that we want to use on our hair. Also, you have to remember that hair bleach is also very, very, very drying on the hair. Okay, and before we apply the color that we want, what do we have to do? We have to wash out all that bleach and ammonia out of our hair, right? So once we wash it, then what do? We spoke to our loctician. We agreed upon a color. So once we wash out all that bleach out of our hair, it's time to apply that color. But remember, I just mentioned that hair bleach dries out the hair. So, what do we do with that? If it dries out the hair, how do we put the moisture back in? We'll find out, right? Your loctician is there applying your new color. Yay! I'm so excited for you. All right, so what is happening now that she's applying the new color that you guys picked together? All right, so remember your cuticle is lifted. Your old color is gone. Okay, so your hair has become oxidized and colorless. So she's applying your new color. So the pigments start to take over and start to bond on your hair cortex. Okay? Um, your hair dye is a series of chemical that starts out as tiny, tiny molecules, right? So they're small enough to penetrate into your hair shaft, while in the hair shaft, the molecules bond together and creates polymers. These polymers are they're real big, that they can't wash out, right? So that's what's giving your hair the new color that you're getting. So your polymers are working, your molecules are working together from the new dye that you and your loctician decided was right for you, was going to look good on you. You know, if you're a blonde person, or whether you like red or green, blue, pink, purple, whatever color that you like, that's popping for you, you know, your loctician is slaying that color on your hair. But we still haven't figured out about the dryness. What's going to happen? All right, kings and queens, all my locks lovers out there, this is the end of part 2. Okay, in part 3, I'm going to talk about ammonia free dye. Okay, I'm doing this series because I want to share what I'm learning, because I'm working towards healthy locks. I want healthy locks, and I'm praying and hoping that I won't lose any of my locks. So the more I learn about my locks, the more I can tell you about it, and that way we can continue this locks journey together. A healthy locks journey. And I don't want to feel, and I don't want you guys to feel, that if your locks is breaking bad from color damage, drying of the hair, that the only option is to cut your hair off, your locks off, and start over. I don't believe that's the only option. I believe that you have an option where you can treat your hair. Okay, you can do deep condition treatment or hot oil treatment, which I strongly recommend. Hot oil treatment, castor oil, is one of my favorite, with also the cholesterol treatment. Um, you don't have to cut it. Hard work, if you work hard at it, you can maintain healthy locks. Okay, and remember, locks is strands of hair matted together. So just like how you would take care of your hair when you had relaxed hair, it will work the same way with your locks. Even the natural hair, when you, before you even decided to begin your locks journey, how you kept your hair healthy, how you made sure that you got your deep condition treatment. It's the same for locks. You just have to find the product that works for you. And that's why I decided to do this series. So I'm not only doing this journey for myself, I'm also doing it to help you guys out. And I know there's a ton of videos out here on YouTube because I've seen them all. That's not my motive. My motive is not that. My passion for doing this is because I've noticed, because I've had locks before, like I mentioned in my previous videos, but I've noticed it's become a bigger trend. And I've seen people that have locks where it's breaking and it's so bad. And I've seen close friends of mine, family members that had locks that decided that the only option was cutting it off because they ended up with a bald spot here or there, or locks literally just falling off from the roots or breaking at the end. And I've and I have a strong feeling that if we work together on this, we can figure out the best way to cure for our locks where it would be easier and we can avoid that process, that heartbreak of, oh, my locks fell off. Because honestly, I don't want to go through that because I've worked too hard, and I know you've worked too hard at growing your locks. So let's work on keeping our locks healthy together, kings and queens. One love. Be true to yourself, okay? Because no one else can be true to you if you're not true to yourself. Walk in love, walk with faith, Faith, with faith. Okay, yeah, I have a little pronunciation issue in my mind. I'm saying it right, but it's coming out wrong. So just work with me with that too. Okay, be blessed. One.